Hey, FCF, we're right back in Ephesians. Today we're in chapter 6, and this whole idea of submissiveness and gentleness of attitude and humility toward one another, it carries right on through the family structure. Yesterday, the Spirit of God through Paul talked to us about husband and wife relationships. Today he's going to talk about parental and child relationships. Ephesians 6, 1 through 4, it says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord." So this is very clear, the action component. "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother." So now we go from actions to attitude. "Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with the promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth." Then verse 4, it adds, "Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord." So here we see again that God's got kind of a submission-oriented order for family. And children are just supposed to obey the parents. Now notice it doesn't say the children are to obey the parents only when the parents are right. God is telling the children, trust me by trusting and submitting to your parents. Now, inevitably, the question comes up, what if the parents are monsters? What if they're asking their children to do something illegal? Or what if they're abusive? Well, of course not. In cases like that, the child needs to appeal to the legal systems of their day to get some help. But nevertheless, the goal is one that makes perfect sense for the children to be submissive to their parents. Now, two things that are emphasized here. One is obey your parents. That's action-oriented. The second one is honor your father and mother. Those two can be separated sometimes. Children can say, okay, I'll do it, and then they stomp off and do it. And that's really not living out this verse. If the child would, in their trust to Christ, submit to their parents, but submit with a good attitude. Parents, we need to learn. I'm going to give you my opinion here, but I think it is based on Scripture. In my opinion, it is more important to correct attitude sometimes than it is to correct action. Both of them need to be dealt with. But attitude is a manifestation of rebellion, and it's often a manifestation of a lot of counter ideas going on, ideas that would be counter to Scripture and God's intent going on in a kid's heart and mind. So deal with attitude, but you have to deal with it with a lot of creativity, because if you hit it too hard head on, you'll just make the kid that much more stubborn and rebellious. It's not an easy thing. But anyway, the Lord's ideal is that the kids are obedient and that the kids are reverent and submissive to their parents. And God gives a promise. He says that if they do this, this will benefit them. They will tend to live longer. The idea is that these are formative experiences that form the child's character, turn that child into an adult that knows how to function and get along in society in a better, healthier way. They will be used to discipline. They will be used to order. They will be used to harmony. They will be used to cooperation. Submission is a good thing. It doesn't mean that you're giving up your spirit. It means you become a functional, cooperating member of a healthy unit, a healthy team, healthy family. Then it says fathers. It says, "Fathers, do not exasperate your children." I wonder why it says that. Instead, bring them up in the training and the instruction of the Lord. The idea behind exasperate is that fathers, wanting so much sometimes to see their children excel, particularly if they have sons, I think, that they can be pretty darn hard on their kids. They can be perfectionistic in certain ways. They can make the kid feel like no matter how hard you run, no matter how high you jump, it's never going to be enough. You're got to go a little bit more. Fathers, we tend to think that this is going to bring out the best in kids, but it can exasperate them. It can make them feel like it is impossible to please this person that they want to actually please so much. They want to look in a father's eyes especially and see approval and admiration and affection and acceptance. And when they don't see that, it really messes with a kid's mind. And so that's why this is particularly put here by the Spirit of God, that fathers, it doesn't say mothers, it says fathers, don't exasperate your kids. Rather, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. And the Lord, He instructs with patience and gentleness. There's space for forgiveness. There's no expectation of immediate perfection, all these things. There's consistency. There's not just rewarding the things that we like about the kids' involvements and ignoring the things that we don't care about. There's consistency across the board. But more importantly, the Lord's way of dealing with us is we always know we're loved. We always know we're safe. We always know we're wanted. We always know that we're cared about. And so the correction comes across in the context of kind of a coaching metaphor, somebody that wants so much your good and just wants to help bring the best in you, but they're all for you. They're all on your side, and they really believe you're capable of just becoming this beautiful, wonderful person. That's the idea of the instruction and the training of the Lord. And again, the emphasis on consistency. Not one day I'm going to be real hard on the kid, and the next day, I'm going to let something go, which is a tendency we have. The things that we're weak on, we might let the kid go. The things that we're strong on, we might be very harsh on. This is kind of the weakness in dads. There's a different style between the way moms tend to train and discipline and dads, but both together give the perfect mix that God intends for children to have as they grow up. Don't know if you had that or not. Hope you did, but hope that you'll at least pass it on to your children if that's the time in your life. Talk to you tomorrow.